Where can you camp? Visit Stonehenge, visit a world-class museum, and wine tasting all in the same day? What? 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 Alright, we wanted to share this awesome campground with you. We are at Maryhill State Park. It's right in Goldendale, or near Goldendale, Washington, right on the Columbia River. Now, along the river over there, there's a bunch of sites. We could have gotten one of those riverfront sites, but it was pretty crowded, and they're pull-through sites, so our back end wouldn't have been looking at the river, it would have been looking at another RV. So we camped on the other side, and beautiful park. We're actually glad we gave it a second chance. We stayed here quite a few years ago with our tag, our little teardrop, right on the river, and it's pretty noisy. So one of the cons of this particular park is that you have the train behind us and traffic noise that way, and then across the river on the Oregon side you have I-84 and more train noise. The pluses for being over here on the north side of the loop is that we actually can't hear the I-84 noise over there, so we feel like we have a little bit less noise. When we've walked around, we can actually hear traffic from both sides, and I feel like over on this side we're only hearing it from this side, so that's been a big plus. The cost here is anywhere from $12 to $50 a night. It depends on if you're a tent site, full hookup site, and what time of year it is. We're here right around the first part of November, and they've actually closed the bathrooms now, so there's outhouses, and they've closed up a couple of the other loops, the non-hookup loops. So yeah, this is beautiful. We've had some really great weather here. Cell service is not as fast as other places we've been, but not a big deal. Fantastic. Most of these spots here, almost all of them, I think all of them in this loop actually have a dump, full hookup. However, it is a little funky because it is it's actually coming out, so it's you know, unless you have one of those little ramp things, that would work out perfectly for here. There is also a dump station over that direction with a much better grade for that. There's a boat launch down here, day use area, and as you can tell, it's one of those really nice Washington State Parks that's not super packed in. I mean, there's this huge green space in the middle of the loop, and we had nobody parked on either side of us for both nights we were here. And if you're seeing double, yes, that is another Escape over there that pulled in last night. So shout out and hello to Marley and Clark that are Clark just retired, and they're on their way for a vacation. So congrats to them, and we'll see them again in April at Fort Casey, April rally. Yeah, as far as reservations, you definitely want to make reservations if you're going to be here in the peak season, which is definitely over the summer. November 1st, it all comes to first come, first serve. So you just pull in and grab your site, and there's definitely been quite a few people that just pulled in for a night on their travels. And we did meet another Escape owner that was heading back home to Bellingham. So hi to them, you know who you are. What in the Sam Hill? Yeah, Sam Hill is the one that built this. So he was a patron in this area. This Stonehenge is an exact replica of the one in England and was built in 1929. So this is a memorial to 13 Klickitat County men that were killed during World War I. Now Sam Hill, who lived in this area, he had a little town site. He also started the Maryhill Museum, which we're going to go to next, and built this after visiting Stonehenge and being inspired by that. So the first monument in the nation to honor soldiers killed in World War I. Well, since the Stonehenge monument was built in 1929, they've added a separate memorial up here to the soldiers that have been killed in subsequent wars, World War II all the way up to Afghanistan and Iraq. So all the soldiers killed in Klickitat County. So in 1907, Sam Hill bought 5,300 acres and he was hoping to make this a big Quaker farming community, but the lack of irrigation made that pretty difficult. He had started building this home in 1914 and then eventually stopped working on it because of the issues around irrigation. So a friend of his named Loy Fuller, she was like a major celebrity, modern dancer, convinced him to turn what was supposed to be his mansion into an art museum. And this museum is pretty awesome. It's $12 for adults, I think it's $10 for seniors. It's got major works of art, including one of my favorite sculpture artists, Rodin. You know, there's like a whole Rodin museum in Paris, and Rodin's everywhere in major museums around the world. So this has a pretty unique and awesome collection of Rodin sculptures. Kind of as a side note, where does the Maryhill come in at? So he started a company with his daughter's name, and her name was Mary, so this became Maryhill. It's known as Maryhill Winery, Maryhill Museum, Maryhill State Park. Mary, Mary, Mary. Okay, so this museum is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but it's really unique. There's some very unique pieces of art in here, and it's world class. But one of the things that is the most unique is Sam Hill's friendship with Queen Marie of Romania. They became quite good friends. He went and visited Europe and they met. And after World War I, he and a couple of other Americans gave a lot of money for war relief to Romania. So when they decided, this was originally going to be Sam Hill's mansion, but then he decided it should be a museum. So he had extended an invitation to Queen Marie of Romania to come here and dedicate the museum, and she accepted. So there's some interesting pieces of Romanian royalty artifacts, artwork in here, in this crazy museum on the Columbia River in Washington.
They only give me small glasses of wine. Apparently, my history precedes me, or something like that.
Cheers. We are now at Maryhill Winery having a tasting. Little tiny cute glasses. This will be the end of our Maryhill day. Good wines here. And it's a beautiful spot. It's super windy outside, but it's just gorgeous over the Columbia River Gorge. This beautiful winery, and they have concerts here in the summer. All right, well, we have certainly enjoyed our 2 nights at Maryhill State Park and all the stuff to do in this area. There's a lot more. Also, there's a really cool observatory and tons more stuff. The great thing about this park too, it's got an activity board with some binders on all the things that you can do in this area. So we could have spent a week here and probably still not done and seen everything. But our time here is over, so we're heading off to the next adventure, and we'll see you down the road. If you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we're heading south, Texas.
Or if you just like wine or just like us, thumbs up.
We like us. We like each other anyway, even if you don't like us.